on the extrude command, you'll notice you have this little deal here, which is pretty conventional, but what you can do is you can grab, it's kind of cool, is you can do this, I just had to click it once and you can change the draft angle here, or you can do it manually, by grabbing the arrow. But, it's changing the draft angle of the inside and the outside. So, you got these various choices here. So anyway, but like I said, you see that, it's tapered both on the inside and the outside. I'm sure you can constrain it to just one of those. Okay, apparently, if you want to find the units and so forth, you got to go to the document settings. So, you get the length of the inch and everything like that, display tolerance and all this other stuff. Apparently, you can set your default materials and so forth here too. So, and all these different materials. Let's say we make it you get PMMA, etc. Lead. Make it UHMW. Okay, if we were, let's say, edit extrude, if you got that mini toolbar up, you can see how when you move out it fades, but you can change the setting on that to remove it so that it doesn't do that. So this is always up. Well, sometimes I can see that being useful, but I'll leave it at that. But you can also pin it at a location if you want. So anyway, but yeah, I wouldn't want to pin the toolbar, because by having it like this, it follows your cursor. So, okay, adding features, you can, like hit fillet, you can select that, and that'll, just select one edge. A loop will select that, okay, but a feature will select this. So, we'll set it on loop. It's set to, the radius right there. You can change the radius. I don't know what setbacks and everything do, but there we go. Okay, that looks good. I guess I could change it if I wanted to, but I'll just select OK. I wonder what this does. Preview. I guess that's a preview. See there, it's for people that are blind. Okay, so it's kind of cool. If I pull up this, you can go up and do the same thing. So it's kind of, it's kind of convenient. It takes a bit of getting used to on that, that sort of thing. Let me. I'm going to change the radius on this to 0.5 inch. Okay, so it's giving us that feature there, and you can see that these fillets are added as features over here. So we're finally adding features, and you can click on these and name the feature if you want. Right click on them, and you got these options that pop up. By the way, when it comes to like customizing this, you can do it by hitting customize and through the marking menu. So that the way you can customize it here, including of course keyboard shortcuts and the ribbon key. So it's kind of cool. Now, of course, when it comes to features, if you right click it, SolidWorks is a little better when it comes to this, if I recall correctly. But I can suppress a feature. Just like by saying suppress feature. So You know, if I want to unsuppress a feature, you know, you unsuppress it. So, you know, by the way, they do have, you know, so if you click on these views, you do have this house, you know, that's actually a home view, and you can set that, you know, by right clicking. So anyway, you know, like I said, I do like this interface, you know, how it manipulates better than SolidWorks. You know, SolidWorks was a little quirky to change your views around. Okay, in our views, you know, you got various types of views, you know, options just like you have in the other CAD programs, but, you know, you can go to constrained orbit or just orbit. You know, an orbit, you know, works the way, you know, it kind of does when you press the mouse command, but, you know, if you want to constrain it, you know, you can click outside of that circle. You know, unconstrained is inside the circle. So, constrained orbit, you know, supposedly constrains it to a certain plane, you know, but I don't know what the difference between the two is. Because again, they all kind of work that way, you know, because you can say, you know, I can constrain it however I want by clicking wherever I want outside of it. So it's kind of cool, though. You know, hit escape to hit escape to get out of these modes. But this guy did say that one method of actually solid modeling is to actually create all your parts in one part file. So apparently you can create more parts, more than one part in here, and then separate them later. So that's kind of interesting because, you know, to me that's very, in some ways, appealing. Because, you know, a lot of parts, you know, need to be, you know, interoperate with one another. Like, for example, if I wanted to make a part that uses taper, you know, it's a little cumbersome to have to go out into assembly and then backtrack, you know, when I could just create the part right now like I could in a regular 3D CAD program to make sure these, you know, it mates properly with this, you know, the inside of this geometry. Okay, now, you know, we got our sketch here. Okay, but, you know, so I mean, I could go, you know, and you can see that there's, you know, in solid bodies, there's only one solid in here right now, you know, and it's composed of these operations. But you can create another solid body, even from the same sketch if you want. So anyway, you know, I could go, you know, new sketch, alright, and select this. Okay. Finish the sketch. Yeah, because I don't know. At any rate, you know, it is creating this as a new sketch, but oh, okay, so it's just yellow by default. I don't know why. You know, so blue is selected here. But anyway, let's finish the sketch, you know, because it's created a brand new sketch here. So anyway, then I can go invoke the extrude command, but, you know, we want this to be a new solid body. So Okay, we want it to be a new solid, so you know, if you go select this, you can go new solid, and let's see, I guess I'm going to change the direction too. I'm going to go in here and grab our little ball thing here, and you know, but I want it to actually extrude inward, so I'm going to do that, and hit OK. Now, at that point, you know, we got this object in here. So, you know, you go to move bodies and select this body here. Alright, that was a little less than intuitive, but you know, that didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. I don't, you know, 'cause you can't just click and drag them. So, you know, because there's actually a feature over there. Okay. But at any rate, you know, you can see that we created two bodies. You know, there's two solids listed now, so you know, it gives you some idea of what I'm talking about.